Hello, it's Classy here, back with another Tribes video, and today I'm going to showcase my strongest unit, which is my 5-star Pain. And right away you can see that I have his Rainbow Frame. He was the first unit that I sunk a lot of resources into, because I pulled him at 4 stars, I believe. And first thing we're going to do is take a look at his stats. But personally, this is one of my favorite arts. It looks really nice, in my opinion. So from the stats page, you can see that his damage increase rate is very high. His critical rate and critical damage increase rate are also high. So although he's a T unit, he serves as kind of like a stacking damage dealer. So the longer he survives, the more damage he'll output. And he also is a crit machine. He'll keep increasing his critical rate, and he'll be doing lots of critical damage to the enemies. So right now I have him at tier 16 max level, and for gear I have his gear and scrolls almost maxed with awakening on both. And for vitality, he has the green vitality, which increases his chakra every time an ally is defeated, and also when an enemy is defeated. And this is important because it matches with his kit very well, which I'll show in a second. So his first ability is Universal Pull, which boosts his own critical rate by 55%, which is a very high percentage. And he already has a very high critical rate, as I just showed. And he deals 100 plus 150% damage to one enemy. And although this is not comparable to the power creep damage output for single target jutsu, it's still a good damage amount, especially because he crits a lot. He'll boost all allies damage increase rate by 16% if he defeats the target, and if he doesn't defeat the target, he'll boost all allies damage reduction rate by 16%. And first, this lasts for the rest of the battle, and it also affects all allies, which means that all 9 of the allies on the team will get these boosts, and it's not just the 3 people in his cell. And first, besides that, 16% is a pretty good amount, especially because it's easy to pull off both of these boosts every time he jutsus. And the way we're going to do that is we'll have him either as the first or the second unit. So if he doesn't kill the enemy and one of the other units finishes off the enemy, then he'll get both of these boosts to proc. So since my Pain does a lot of damage, I have him I think second right now, but basically the point is for him to deal a very large amount but not kill an enemy with one jutsu, and then have the unit behind him finish off the enemy. So he'll boost all allies damage reduction rate and then their damage increase rate after. His second skill is just normal damage, 100 plus 30%, and he'll lower targets damage reduction rate by 30%, which is a good amount. And this makes him good for taking out tanks, because they usually have a high damage reduction rate. So his second skill is good for comboing with his jutsu later. He'll increase his HP, and then this is the fourth skill, which is Limit Broken. So he'll boost his own damage increase rate by 9% at the start of any turn after an enemy has been defeated, and he'll boost his own damage reduction rate by 9% at the start of any turn after an ally has been defeated. So as I mentioned before, this works well with his green vitality because he'll be getting chakra when enemies and allies are defeated, and he'll also be boosting his damage increase and damage reduction rates when allies and enemies are defeated. And when he rotates in at the start of the turn, he'll boost his critical damage rate by 5%. So he's boosting his critical damage increase rate and critical damage rates a lot, and therefore you're going to see him crit very often and crit for very high damage numbers. So now we're going to hop into Arena, and for Arena what you want to do is you want to keep Pain alive as long as possible, so he can keep getting extra chakra and jutsuing, which will then benefit the team. So I'm here with the first Arena battle, and for the Arena battles that I picked, they were generally close because that will be able to showcase Pain's full kit more. So right away, you can see that Kakashi died because the opponent attacked first there, and as a result, Pain's 4th skill procs here. So since the ally died, he'll be increasing his damage reduction rate, which is right here, as you can see. Okay, now Pain's going to rotate in. His 4th skill will trigger again, but this time it's the limit broken part of it, so he'll increase his critical damage increase rate, as you can see here. And also, you notice that his chakra bar is full, which is important, and the reason is because of his green vitality. So since Kakashi died, he was able to get extra chakra, and you can see that he was able to tank 3 hits with some help from guard rate, so that was pretty useful. So now he's going to jutsu. In this case, he one-shot Hidan by dealing 290k critical damage, which is a very good amount of damage. And since he finished off the enemy, he has given all the allies on the team damage increase rate up. So yeah, it might be better if I switch my team around in the future to have Pain first, but it wouldn't have made a difference because against the tank he deals a lot of extra damage. And while we were talking, his 4th skill procced again, so I'll have to go back. Yeah, so his 4th skill is going to proc, and this time there's an enemy that died and also an ally that died. So he's going to increase his damage increase rate and also increase his damage reduction rate and also increase his chakra. Okay, so he's here again. He obviously increases damage increase and damage reduction rates because enemies have died and allies have died. He increases his critical rate when he rotates in, and he has full chakra again from his vitality. Alright, so we're here with the second arena battle, and right away Pain's going to proc his 4th skill, but only the limit broken part because he rotated in. Yeah, so he did like 120k critical damage on a single attack, which was a lot more than my Kirin. So even with single attacks, he does a lot of damage. So since one of my allies died, he'll increase his own damage reduction rate from his fourth skill. And since an enemy died, he'll increase his damage increase rate from his fourth skill. $255k critical damage to a T unit, so he did even more, or just about as much, to a same type unit as to Hidan, which was earlier. And I'm not gonna keep mentioning his fourth skill proccing because it basically just procs every turn now. He rotates in, boosts all of his stuff, has full chakra again. $242k crit on a lower type unit. So yeah, he just deals a lot of damage. It doesn't really matter the type or the resistance, and he just keeps critting. So the lesson here is to keep him alive as long as possible. As you saw, his skills just keep proccing every single turn, and yeah, provides a lot of utility. So I'm here with the final arena battle, and going off of the theme of keeping Pain alive so he can keep stacking his boosts. This arena battle takes a good amount of time, so I'll try to go through it faster. And also, I would like to clarify that his fourth skill, when rotating in, increases his critical damage increase rate, and his jutsu is the one that increases his critical rate. So yeah, it can get a little hard to remember which is which, but I'm not going to mention all the skills proccing and all the boost proccing again because I've been going over that for the past few battles. But he's gonna insta jutsu here. 191k on a type down, not bad, with a crit. And the reason why he had full chakra bar is because 2 of my allies died already. So I'm very behind right now. Yeah. The red text is critical damage increase rate when he rotates in. So that's how much damage he does. And his jutsu increases his critical rate, which is how often he crits. Just to make that clear. Okay, that wasn't that much damage, because no crit. So yeah, slowly my units are getting sniped here, but as long as Pain is still alive, he'll just keep stacking. Okay, he's here again, full chakra bar. Still pretty behind, so hopefully he can do some good damage. Okay, so since he didn't kill an opponent right now with his jutsu, he'll increase all of his allies' damage reduction rate up. So it's okay that he doesn't kill a unit. And in fact, if my SR Heavy had like full chakra bar and followed up with the jutsu that killed Naruto, that would have been optimal. So he could buff both damage increase rate and damage reduction rate. But since I'm behind right now, increasing damage reduction rate isn't bad. And it helps the people who are not in rotation as well. So they'll be able to survive longer. So still have 6 units right now, and I've been able to take out 4 of his to get the lead back. Pain's gonna jutsu again. He just keeps jutsuing at this point because they're allies and enemies who have died. 284k critical damage, which is a good amount on a type A unit. Damage increase rate up for all of my remaining members. And all the people who are not in the rotation also. He takes he took no damage from that. Probably because he keeps boosting his damage reduction rate. So yeah, now you can see that I've taken the lead, like pretty heavily. Pain just keeps boosting the whole team and keeps boosting himself. He keeps having full chakra bars every rotation, and therefore he was influential in the outcome of this battle. He's jutsu'd 4 times already. No crit, 193k, which is good. Increases damage increase rate for everybody on my team. And yeah, that's basically the end of this battle. So just to reiterate once again, keep Pain alive as long as you can. Try to have him not kill, but leave the enemy that he's targeting with his jutsu with a small amount of health remaining so he can be finished off later to get double buffs. Feel free to upgrade his limit break so he can keep increasing his critical damage. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video.